My sister faked a pregnancy with my boyfriend so I would break up with him. His name was Liam. I met him at a birthday party for a mutual friend. I was in the kitchen looking for water, and he handed me a glass before I even asked. He said, "You looked like you needed this." I laughed. He smiled, and that was the start of everything. We were together for a year and a half before my sister got involved. Liam wasn't the loud type. He didn't try to impress everyone. He just showed up. If I had a bad day, he came over with food. If I was stressed, he listened. If I said something mattered to me, he remembered it. I had dated people before who looked good from the outside but made me feel alone. Liam was different. With him, everything felt steady. My sister Mia met him at a family dinner 8 months into our relationship. Mia was 3 years younger than me. She was pretty, charming, and very good at getting attention without looking like she was trying. Growing up, she always wanted whatever I had. Clothes, friends, attention, even hobbies. If something made me happy, she found a way to step into it. So when she met Liam, I should have noticed the way she looked at him. But I didn't. At first, she acted normal. She asked him questions at dinner, laughed at his jokes, and told me later that he seemed nice. Then she started showing up more. If Liam and I were going somewhere with friends, Mia suddenly wanted to come. If I posted a picture with him, she commented first. If he was at my parents' house, she found reasons to be in the same room. Then she started texting him. She said it was harmless, just friendly, just getting to know her sister's boyfriend. Liam showed me the first few messages because he thought it was weird. Nothing serious. Memes, jokes, random questions. I told him not to make it awkward and that Mia was just like that. After that, Mia got bolder. She started making comments about him to me. She said, "Liam is actually really attractive." Then, "You're lucky he's loyal." Then, "Guys like him usually get bored easily." I asked why she kept saying things like that, and she laughed like I was overreacting. Liam seemed uncomfortable around her, but when I asked, he said he didn't want to cause drama between us. He said he could handle it. Then one Sunday afternoon, Mia came to my apartment crying. I opened the door and immediately knew something was wrong. Her face was red, her hands were shaking, and she wouldn't look me in the eye. She sat on my couch and said she needed to tell me something before I heard it from someone else. Then she said she was pregnant. I froze. Before I could even ask who the father was, she looked at me and said, "It's Liam." I didn't speak. She started crying harder. She said it happened once. She said it was a mistake. She said she felt disgusting and had been trying to find the right moment to tell me. She said she couldn't keep lying anymore. I kept waiting for her to say she was joking or confused or that I had misunderstood. She didn't. I asked when it happened. She said about 6 weeks earlier after a family dinner. She said Liam offered to drive her home because I had left early for work the next morning. She said they talked in the car, one thing led to another, and she hated herself for it. She knew the date. She knew what he was wearing. She knew what excuse he gave for coming home late. She said he told her not to say anything because it would destroy me. That was the part that broke me. Because Liam had come home late that night. He had told me he stopped for gas and food. At the time, I believed him. Mia handed me a pregnancy test from her bag. It was positive. I stared at it like it was something from another planet. She said, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't want him. I didn't mean for this to happen." I asked, "Then why did it?" She didn't answer. That night, I called Liam and told him to come over. He arrived 20 minutes later. He looked worried before he even walked through the door. I told him what Mia said. His face went pale instantly. Then he said, "No, that's not true." He said it fast, clear, no hesitation. He said nothing had ever happened between them. He said he had never touched her. He said he didn't even like being alone with her because she made him uncomfortable. I wanted to believe him. A huge part of me did believe him. But then I showed him the pregnancy test. He looked at it and went quiet. I asked about the night he drove her home. He said he did drive her home, but nothing happened. He said she cried in the car about feeling lonely and insecure, and he tried to be kind. He said she hugged him before getting out, and that was it. I asked why he never told me. He said, "Because it felt awkward, and I didn't want to make things weird with your family." That answer sounded normal. It also sounded exactly like something someone guilty would say. For 3 days, I barely slept. Mia kept texting me. She said she didn't want Liam, that she knew I hated her, that she didn't know what she was going to do about the baby. Liam kept calling too. He begged me to believe him. He said Mia was lying, but he couldn't prove it. That was the problem. He couldn't prove it, and Mia had a positive test. So I broke up with him. I told him I couldn't stay in a relationship where I didn't know what was real. He looked destroyed, not angry, not defensive, just heartbroken. He said, "I need you to know I didn't do this." I said, "I don't know what I know anymore." Then I ended the best relationship I had ever had. After that, Mia became the perfect sister. She checked on me every day. She brought food to my apartment. She asked if I had eaten. She sat with me while I cried. She said she hated herself for ruining things. She said she wished she could take it all back, but she never acted like someone who was scared to have a baby. That was the first thing that felt wrong. She never talked about doctor appointments unless I asked. She never showed me another test. She never talked about what she planned to do. Whenever I asked, she said she was too overwhelmed to think about it. Then 6 weeks after the breakup, I ran into Sophie, one of Mia's old friends from school. We weren't close, but we knew each other enough to talk. She asked how I was, and I gave a fake answer. Then she mentioned Mia. She said, "I'm glad she's doing better. She seemed really stressed a few months ago." I asked what she meant. Sophie looked uncomfortable and said, "She told me she had a pregnancy scare, but it turned out to be nothing." I stared at her. I said, "A pregnancy scare?" Sophie nodded. She said Mia told her she thought she might be pregnant, but she wasn't. She said Mia was relieved because it would have caused too much drama. My hands went cold. I asked when Mia told her that. Sophie gave me the date. It was 2 days before Mia came to my apartment crying with the positive test. I went home and started looking through everything. The timeline didn't make sense. Mia had told Sophie she wasn't pregnant before she told me she was. The positive test she showed me had no name, no date, nothing connected to her. It could have belonged to anyone. Then I remembered something else. 3 weeks before Mia came to me, our cousin had announced she was pregnant in the family group chat and posted a photo of her test. I still had the photo. I opened it. Then I opened the picture I had taken of the test Mia showed me. Same brand, same counter, same tiny scratch on the plastic near the result window. Mia had used our cousin's pregnancy test. I felt sick. Not sad anymore. Not confused. Sick. I called Sophie again and asked her to send me screenshots of the messages where Mia said the scare was over. Sophie didn't want to get involved at first, but when I told her Mia had used the lie to make me break up with Liam, she sent them. Then I called Liam. He picked up after one ring. I said, "She was never pregnant." The line went silent. Then he said, "I told you nothing happened." I said, "I know." He didn't yell. That almost made it worse. He just sounded tired. I told him about Sophie, the screenshots, and the pregnancy test photo. I told him I was sorry. I told him I should have trusted him. He said, "I understand why you didn't." That made me cry harder than if he had been angry. We talked for almost 2 hours, not about getting back together. Not yet. Just about what happened. He told me Mia had made him uncomfortable for months. She had sent him selfies, asked if I ever talked about her, and once texted him late at night saying she wished someone looked at her the way he looked at me. He ignored most of it because he didn't want to create problems with my family. Then he said something that made everything worse. He said, "The night I drove her home, she tried to kiss me." I stopped breathing for a second. He said he pulled away immediately, told her it wasn't happening, and drove home. He said he didn't tell me because he thought it would destroy my relationship with my sister. I asked, "So she lied because you rejected her?" He said, "I think so." That was when the whole picture became clear. Mia didn't fake the pregnancy because she panicked. She faked it because Liam rejected her and she wanted to punish both of us. I didn't confront her right away. I wanted everyone to hear it at the same time. Our family had dinner once a month at my parents' house. My parents, me, Mia, 2 aunts, and my uncle. I told my mom I would be there. I answered Mia's texts like normal for 10 days. I let her think I still believed her. At dinner, Mia acted relaxed. She even asked if I had heard from Liam lately. I said, "A little." She looked pleased. That made me want to throw my glass at the wall, but I didn't. I waited until dinner was almost over. Then I put my phone on the table and said, I need to talk about what Mia did. The table went quiet. Mia looked at me and I watched her realize something was wrong. I said, Mia told me she was pregnant with Liam's baby. I broke up with him because of it. She was never pregnant. Mia immediately said, That's not true. I said, Sophie told me about the pregnancy scare. Her face changed. I said, You told Sophie it was a false alarm before you told me you were pregnant. My mom looked at Mia. Mia said, Sophie misunderstood. I opened the screenshots and slid my phone to my mom. Then I pulled up our cousin's pregnancy test photo and the photo of the test Mia showed me. I said, Same test? Same counter, same scratch. Nobody spoke. Mia started crying. My dad asked, Is this true? Mia said nothing. My mom asked again, Mia, is this true? Mia wiped her face and said, I was trying to protect her. I laughed once. I said, From what? A loyal boyfriend? She said Liam wasn't right for me. She said he made me distant from the family. She said I was changing. She said she felt like she was losing me. Then my aunt asked, Did you want him? Mia froze. That silence told everyone more than her words could. I said, He rejected you, didn't he? My mom looked horrified. Mia started crying harder and said, He made me feel stupid. I said, So you made me leave him? She screamed, You always get everything. There it was, the truth. Not concern, not protection, jealousy. She said I always got the good guys, the attention, the support. She said Liam looked at me like I was special, and she wanted to know what that felt like. She said she only lied because she knew I would never leave him otherwise. My dad stood up and told her to leave. Mia begged my mom to say something. My mom didn't. My dad said, Get out. She left crying, but nobody followed her. Liam and I didn't get back together immediately. There was too much damage. I had hurt him by not trusting him, even if I had been manipulated. We talked slowly, carefully. Some days were good. Some days were awkward. He admitted he was scared I would believe the next lie someone told about him. I admitted I was scared I had broken something we couldn't fix. But we kept talking. A few months later, we tried again. This time with no Mia anywhere near us. Mia didn't handle the fallout well. She told people I humiliated her. She said I ruined her relationship with the family. She said everyone was acting like she was evil over one mistake. So I sent one screenshot to anyone who asked. The one where Sophie said Mia told her it was a false alarm before she came to me with the fake test. That usually ended the conversation. My parents still talk to her, but things are different. My mom doesn't defend her the way she used to. My dad barely speaks when she's in the room. My aunts don't invite her to things unless they have to. Mia tried apologizing once. She came to my apartment and said she missed me. She said she knew she went too far. She said she was in a bad place and didn't know how to handle her feelings. I asked, Did you ever actually care that you broke my heart? She started crying. I said, That's not an answer. She said, I just wanted him to look at me the way he looked at you. I told her to leave. Liam and I are still together now. It took time to rebuild what happened, but we did. Mia and I are not close. We are barely anything. And the last time she tried to act like I was being dramatic, Liam finally said what I should have said a long time ago. He looked at her and said, You didn't lose your sister because she chose me. You lost her because you tried to destroy her when I didn't choose you.